When Pikmin was first released on the GameCube, I just really loved the concept. At the time, I was calling it Nintendo's take on real-time strategy, which I felt was appropriate, given how Nintendo always does things in their own unique way. Instead of a disembodied cursor, you control Captain Olimar, whose handy whistle can command an army of Pikmin, little plant-like creatures, to do a variety of tasks, with the ultimate goal of rebuilding his ship so that he can go back to his home planet. While all of this is pretty sound, a part of me did think that given the RTS genre's relative stagnancy over the years, that innovations in Pikmin would be incremental as new iterations came out. And so, I set aside the series and skipped its subsequent releases, waiting for the right time to jump back in. But what's funny about ignoring all of the Pikmin between then and now is that whatever the latest Pikmin game I choose to play today will reveal innovations that have already been present in previous titles, compounding my own personal thoughts and feelings about it. That's the kind of impact Pikmin 4 has on me, and wow, this is one incredible game. In Pikmin 4, you do get to play a little bit of Captain Olimar at the beginning, but that's only the tutorial level, and something that sets the stage for the actual story of the game. In it, you'll be playing an inexperienced cadet, who is tasked with rescuing the rescue party that attempted to save Captain Olimar from whatever planet this is. You get to customize how your character looks, which is a first in the series, and I love how expressive the available choices are, despite the limited options. This leads us through a pretty wordy first few minutes of the game, past the Captain Olimar tutorial section. I was actually really surprised with how long it took me to get to the portion of the game that taught you what the onion is and how to generate your own Pikmin. But thankfully, after that part, it was mostly all gameplay. And for the most part, Pikmin 4 feels the same, except for the fact that there are no overall time limits anymore. In previous titles, there are various elements that limited how much freedom you had with exploring the different zones, prioritizing things like ensuring you were collecting reserves or fulfilling objectives over time to push your progression forward. I literally spent more than 5 hours just trying to 100% the first zone of the game, which is when I knew that I was gonna see this entire game through to completion. While there are still time limits within the day itself, you're able to explore underground sections that stop time above ground, ensuring that you're focused on the tasks at hand without worrying about running out of time. This eases up on the deadline stress that many players face whenever they're given a ticking clock, and it's something that I welcome immensely. What's also great about Pikmin 4 is the amount of customization you can partake in, not just on your character, but also your pet, Ochi. You can upgrade Ochi's abilities, like letting him carry heavier things, or dig more efficiently, or even deal more charge damage, to name a few. On your character, you can equip various equipment, such as a headlamp, that can help you explore dark areas, and eventually, even do night expeditions. There's even side quests that you can pick up from castaways, folks who aren't part of your crew who somehow wandered their way to this planet, that reward you for fulfilling certain milestones. These small things add a ton of incentive to exploring every nook and cranny in each area, and with no overall time limit, you're gonna have a ton of fun doing so. To that end, I've always loved the idea of these tiny Pikmin inhabiting a little garden patch or two, and the scale that Pikmin delivers, not just this latest one, has always been incredible looking to me. Naturally, Pikmin 4 benefits from all of the enhancements in graphics technology over the years, but to the series' credit, they've always had a consistent style, blending a stylized ultra-realism with the cartoonish appearance of Captain Olimar and Company and Pikmin. I absolutely loved exploring the natural wonders of Pikmin 4's environment, and I love it whenever you see Pikmin carry classic Nintendo hardware back to the ship to process. Apart from the lack of an overall time limit, The game's fail states are practically the same, such as if you have a Pikmin that's not at the base or riding Ochi, that they'll just be lost when the day ends, as well as enemies clobbering them to bits. But I can't help but feel that it's more lenient. Granted, I've always been generally terrible at Pikmin combat, no surprise there, but there's also a rewind time option that allows you to undo your most recent mistake that lets you renew your strategy. The interesting part about using rewind time above ground is that it always resets you and your Pikmin back at your base, which can be cheesy to use if you wanted a way to just easily and quickly round up your Pikmin before the day is done. But perhaps the only real complaint that I have with Pikmin 4 is our inability to save at any time. Granted, there are generous helpings of autosaves everywhere. It would have been nice to have the peace of mind to be able to save at any time, or better yet, give us a clearer indication of how long ago these autosaves were made and the progress we've made since. Overall, I really love Pikmin 4, but there's a caveat of course. I had skipped every Pikmin since the first game, making this experience a truly incredible one, since I experienced every innovation from Pikmin 2 to 4 all at once here. But that's not to say that the best decision it's ever made, such as the removal of the overall time limit, isn't impactful in any way. Now, more than ever, Pikmin is more accessible, friendlier, and streamlined, to the point that both old and new fans alike can spend more time with these cute creatures. So if you're looking for an awesome game to play that's very different than many others out there right now, and one that you can have a great time with, I think Pikmin 4 is the game for you.